All right, we're back. Nando Rome Show. Once again, another week. Uh Hope you missed us. Uh because we might have missed you guys. I don't know.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. The numbers were low, so we do miss you a little bit. anyway, anyway, speaking of numbers, once again, I mean you guys I keep saying it on every podcast I do. I do too many now. But like, subscribe, share, comment, all that. It will really help all of us out. Uh trying to build the brand and all that. And then maybe we can get some merch for some people that have been asking, the two people that have
Yes.
asked. Um,
Yep. I know hats were asked about.
yeah, the hats. That might have to be the first one we had to put up because of
Might
the
be. Yeah.
high demand. But yeah, do that. Like I've been saying every week, the last couple of weeks. Uh, but let's get right to it. Last week I kind of brought it up and it finally happened. It became official yesterday because we're recording this on Tuesday night. Um, but became official Monday morning, I believe. The Philadelphia Eagles finally traded Hassan Reddick, which was something that was more than likely going to happen. Um, yeah, they traded him to the Jets, who were searching for a pass rusher. The funny thing about the trade to the Jets, obviously, he goes to our old friend Joe Douglas, but
hmm
he also, I think, before the trade was even announced, because let's be honest, the trade was announced Friday afternoon, while something we're gonna get to talking about in a little bit was happening, which some people argued it was released at the right time where people around the area would not like flip out as much because they were flipping about something else that was happening. But he goes to the Jets for a third round pick in 2026 that can become a second round pick if uh, Hassan reaches 67.5% play time and 10 sacks. So both of them, not just one. Um, which makes sense. Good by the Eagles, I guess, to make this happen, Howie, because Hassan got 11 sacks last year, 38 tackles in 17 games, and he played 74% of the snaps. So
hmm
they're banking, even if he goes down 4% at 70, that's still, and then, double digit sacks, even if it's 10. So, yeah, I, I'm okay with it. I'm not flipping out like people are. I think that uh a lot of people like to bullshit a lot. Well, not bullshit, but complain a lot
hmm
about first round picks and why. Like I heard there was a contingent of people on the internet. I know the internet's not real for the most part, but a contingent of people on the internet making comments all year about why isn't Nolan Smith playing enough? Well, now he's gonna play. A guy that
He's
you
gonna play
spent your
now.
a guy you spend your second of two first round picks that you had last year on. Obviously, Jalen Carter played the whole season. Nolan played
hmm
sparingly. Obviously, everything Philly does is a rotation. I don't know why people get so bothered about it. It's a rotation. And yes, Nolan, as the young guy, was the odd man out. But guess what? Now he's gonna play. It's him, Sweat, it's uh Huff who they sign, and some
Huff,
people
you have the new Huff.
some people are calling this basically was a trade between Huff for Reddick and a third round pick. But yes, it has to you have to give these guys that you keep bitching about. Sorry for the cursing, whatever. You keep bitching about how we're spending these first round picks and they're not playing and all this stuff. I'm tired of you guys whining about Jordan Davis. Like, leave it alone. It hasn't been that bad. Also,
Oh,
he had a guy in front of him. Well, it's a rotation anyway, like I just said, but he had a guy in front of him that people were complaining a few years ago, a few weeks ago when he announced his retirement, in Fletcher Cox, who I love. People were bitching about, oh, we can't lose him and Kelsey in the same year. So what the hell were you flipping out about? There's a guy in front of him that you love playing in front of Jordan Davis. That's why he's not playing. So, or enough. So, like, and then the year before when he was a rookie, Jordan, he was having a good season until he got hurt, and then they signed. How he signed two guys off the street. that ended up doing well for the team in Joseph and Sue. And how do you think he's going to get that playing time back over two veterans who were in the rotation who were actually doing well?
No, you're not. You're not
So
going to get any playing time
so
with those two there.
at some point this you gotta you can't expect sometimes when it I think that when it comes to these rookie players, draft picks, whatever, sometimes it's better for them to some of them it's better by trial by fire, putting them out there sometimes. And I know it
Hmm.
scares people around this town with the uncertainty and things, but people in this town want guys who these rookies to beat out these vets that we have so they can feel better about themselves. But when sometimes you just have to play these guys, and I always bring out because it's it's the most recent example that has happened, and you could say Kansas City's drafted well or whatever. I mean, Kansas City's run very well as an organization, but so are the Eagles. And Kansas City, I know there was a big performance by Patrick Mahomes, but Kansas City beat us in the Super Bowl, us meaning the Eagles, with three rookies on the defensive side of the ball, two corners, one safety, and they were fine.
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes you have to put them out there and let them get the experience. And you can somebody's gonna make an excuse about McDuffie's always good was always good. Like, look at him this year. Well, yeah. Well, if he would have set the whole year, we might have not gotten the performance that he got all year and in the Super Bowl this year to win it again. Because guess what? He had to play from like middle of the season on because of whatever injuries or whatever happened. So sometimes you just have to step up, and
Hmm.
these guys are going to step up. And also, the offseason is not over. People are flipping out like the offseason is over. Uh, there's still some guys out there that you can bring in. Still predicting Justin Simmons, but that's that's another story.
Yeah, no, there's still plenty of time in free agency before the season starts. Who knows what Howie's going to pull? He's got under his
Yeah,
sleeve to pull out. Um, yeah, no, the Hassan thing. It's whatever. I mean, he's about to cross that 30-year threshold, which we're used to with the Eagles back in the 2000s. They getting rid of players. So who knows? We may be just now getting rid of Hassan, and he's about to start declining. I
yeah,
mean, might as well get these young guys in here now and get them developed. Maybe they might become the next Hassan.
yeah. They're Mayan. That's what you have to do. I used to like the 30 rule when I was younger. They kind of went away for it a little bit, but I mean, it's all good. Um, Speaking of signing, they extended Reed Blankenship for another year, so not a big deal. I know they made it seem like it was some big contract, but it wasn't. It was a 1 year extension. He's probably getting paid like 100,000 more, maybe. Who knows? But
Hmm.
that's the most that's happened Eagles wise. Um,
Yeah,
Nothing
it's been
new.
quiet.
It's quiet, but I think that's I like it that way. For
Yeah.
now, we got a month to the draft, way more because it's not even the end of March. Uh, so yeah,
Mhm.
moving on, Philly stuff. Flyers are gonna blow it. I think I mentioned it last week, but they're gonna blow it. They're hanging on by a thread. They signed a guy off the KHL goalie who uh, they drafted in 2015, but he stayed over there.
Fedakov. No, not Fedakov.
I think it starts with a P though, and I think it might be that. I don't know, but he played last night. Is what I'm
Yeah,
trying
no, he
to
was
say.
the one they drafted back in 2015, but
2015.
wasn't allowed
Yeah,
to come over,
yeah. Now I guess he was, and they signed him. And
along with the other goalie who was supposed to come here early, the younger
uh,
guy.
yeah, I don't.
His name's escaping me, and then
They
he
still
got
probably
called
have the
back for
rights. Yeah.
he got in trouble through Russia
Oh,
because he
okay.
was supposed to stay and do his military service, and he never did.
Okay. Yeah. So they signed him off the street. Well, not off the street because they own the rights, and he played in the KHL. A few days ago, this is a huge dude. He played last night against the Islanders. He covers most of the net, so I think that's part of where his game comes from. Um, New guy
Yeah,
probably
well,
had to new guy Harry probably had to fly over. His mask was just plain white. So he hasn't even met
Well,
the guy to do the mask.
usually they are white in their first game.
Yeah, it's because they haven't got the
Um,
hookup with the guy who's gonna do the guy or
yeah.
knows the artist is gonna do the mask. But yeah, they took the Islanders to overtime and they got a point out of it because they ended in a shootout. But they're just hanging on. Like I don't think they've. I'm pretty sure they haven't won a game in like the last seven. So they're like on a 7 game losing streak, but
Mm,
they've gotten points because a lot of those losses have been overtime losses. And if you guys who follow hockey know, like if you lose in overtime, you get a point. If you win, you get two in regulation or in overtime.
hmm
So they've lost 5 straight, and I think like 3 of those were in overtime, or all of them actually, because they've gotten some points. The
Yep.
Capitals are a point behind them, and they occupy the last wildcard spot. And
hmm
yeah, we won't get too much into it because if you want to hear about hockey, you could tune into my other show. Uh, you know,
hmm
we're on a different day this week because of travel things, and my partner in crime over there, she is in South Dakota, so we're gonna move our recording night until tomorrow when she is free. She's actually flying. I think she just landed, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong.
Well, there
Time
you go.
differences and all that. But anyway, that's where you get your hockey fix, and we'll talk about. I'll go in on the Flyers there. Uh, Not a
Quick,
good start to
quick.
the weekend for the Phillies or season, bro.
No, it's been a very, very, very disappointing start after all the hype of them coming back and how they didn't like how they finished last year. Blowing the game 6 and game 7, and coming back to get just smoked on opening day. I
Yeah,
mean, and once again, it's the same culprit, the bullpen, which is I just don't understand how this bullpen can be so shitty. And they're ranked, and they've somehow got ranked number 1 in baseball. It's the best bullpen in the league, but they're blowing games left and right. I mean, the top of the lineup for the Phillies is they're not hitting. I think Bryce just got his first hit this season, the home run.
with Homer.
Um, yeah. So he's one for I don't know 8,
One for eight.
one for
Well, he's got
one.
a he had to hit more than that. He played all 3 games, didn't he?
No, the game they won against the Braves, they sat Bryce.
Oh,
They
because of the
sat.
railing
They
thing
sat.
the day before.
Well, no, they said he was fine because he didn't really have any. The only thing that was injured on him was he cut his finger.
Oh, okay.
That was about it. I think they sat Stott. I think maybe even Stott sat Bone. I mean, it was just like a weird grouping of people sitting. But yeah, they turned around, they won that game, but then they
Yeah,
shit the
it's
bed.
usually how it happens. So,
But I'm
uh,
not gonna get too
whoa,
as pissed off as I'm gonna be.
whoa, you were
I'm
pissed
trying
at
not.
the group chat hours
Yeah,
into the
because
first game.
well, no, okay. It all started because when the opening day, we're watching. I'm watching it, and I say, pull it, bring in Strom, and I immediately knew we're gonna fucking lose. We're gonna lose because Strom is the one guy in our bullpen I cannot stand. I can deal with the rest of them, but I cannot stand Strom. Strom is the worst. He cannot pitch to save his life. Every time he comes in and the Phillies have the lead, they lose the lead because he sucks. He looks like. He looks like what's his name, Nick Wright on ESPN.
The Fox, yeah, but doesn't
No,
matter
not. Oh, is he
semantics.
on Fox now?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's on
whatever. Yeah,
Fox.
he looks like him. I want to punch him in the face too. I just want to punch Strom in the face. He's got a very punchable face,
I'm gonna try to.
and I want him gone or sent down to the minors as soon as possible. There's got to be someone in the minors that's better than Strom, because
Yeah,
then Strom gets this little roll on of shitty play, and then just affects the whole bullpen.
yeah. It was. I mean, I think the rankings are done from like last year, and I think like for most of the playoffs, the Phillies had a good bullpen compared to like the season.
Hmm.
For most of the playoffs, even though like they got eliminated, they didn't get to the World Series like the night day before. Most of these rankings are stuff that happened last year and going into it. So it's
Yeah.
like baseball's so weird that people like start. There was people who were hot in spring training, then the season started, and now they're not, and it's kind of like it's just a weird thing. Uh, I'm not gonna rub it in, and we don't talk about it too much, but Yankees are 5-0. It's like the first time since like before, well, since I was like one, uh, that they've done that. So yeah, I won't go into that. They play again in Arizona again, looking to go 6-0. Uh, I don't want to get excited because you can't win the pennant in April, but
No.
as my friend Brendan says, you can definitely lose it in April. So but you can't win it.
Well,
But yeah,
actually, correct my stat on Bryce Harper. He has 2 hits, both tonight, both home runs.
really, he's got two at bats, two
I
home
just
runs.
looked it up. 2 home runs.
Wow, are they
I said,
winning?
look, yeah, they're up 2-1.
Just Bryce, the only
Because of Bryce.
offense.
Yep.
Wow,
But yeah, I haven't watched the whole game. I just turned it on because I've been
yeah,
getting
doing
dinner
that
ready
stuff.
and
Yeah,
the baby. But yeah, he's back up to bat now, and maybe he'll crank a third one.
and
Oh.
yeah, yeah, it's been a slow start for some people. I mean, I knew it was coming. Like I said, I don't want to brag, but it's
And
uh,
it's the I like to say it's the Phillies way. They've
yeah.
I think so as long as I can remember, they've always started off horrible. Even the World Series team started off horrible.
See, and the funny thing, I'm a like say in comparison to Bryce, and I knew this player was good, and I saw him from afar, but he was never on my team. And now that he is, I knew this guy was so good, even before he got on the Yankees. But man, to watch
Oh.
Soto every game and every at bat, not just from afar, catch him every couple games and just look at the stat lines and know that he was good.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's lived up to it. And it's only been 5 games, and I think he's gotten a hit in every game so far. And he's not out there swinging. He's at bad pitches. He's very patient. He does the shuffle for people who don't know. He does do the shuffle there for his balls and all that. But man, it's gonna be a good season if everybody stays healthy. But yeah, him and Judge batting back to back to each other. It's gonna do things for both of them, and then
Mm-hmm.
Judge just has to get it together because even though he's a pretty good hitter, not as good as Soto, um, he does sometimes swing a lot at things that he shouldn't be swinging at. But I guess the view up there from 8 feet tall is pretty high. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right, we move on to everybody's favorite segment that we do. It's that time where I give Rome the floor, and he has um his rant. Uh, Rome's rant of the week. Um, take it away.
All right. My rant of the week is Mr. Rusty Rice, that idiot, bum idiot, who him and his buddies decide to have a drag race down the highway and then cause a 6-car accident and then walk away. Then all of them get out and walk away, not even checking on anybody to see if anyone was hurt. Get out and maybe hide some of their stuff that they're alleging, maybe some, a little bit of drugs or some firearms. But we're just not, it's just alleged. I'm not saying that that's what it was, that's what's alleged. And they get out and walk away, not even checking in on anything. Second, if anyone was hurt, and apparently there was 2 people that were sought medical attention there at the scene, and then 2 more had to be transported to the hospital because of these idiots that were driving these cars. So the one car, the Corvette, belonged to Rashid, which apparently he was driving. And then there was a Lamborghini that he rented that he was supposed to be the driver, but apparently he was not driving. I don't get it with these stupid athletes that just think they can go and do whatever they want and not care for any human life on the highway when they're driving like this. We saw what happened with Henry Ruggs, or yeah, with Ruggs, when he killed a person and a dog, and now he's in prison. This idiot should be suspended for the year. That's it. Minimum suspension for the year. And then someone's going to say, oh, well, what about Jalen Carter? Okay, the whole Jalen Carter thing, those were two consenting adults in two separate vehicles. The one vehicle was driven by a drunk driver, and he lost control, crashing, killing him and the passenger, who was another player for Jalen. Jalen did plead no contest, and then that's when he was given his little sentence. So that's all said and done. He didn't cause them. He just was one of the consenting drivers. This idiot, none of these people that were in this wreck consented to be a part of their little drag race and got hit. And then these guys just walk away. And that's it. No care in the world. That's what pisses me off. No care in the world for any of the other people that were involved in that accident. One being a little 4-year-old kid. I'm not 100% sure if it was hurt, but shaken up. But that's a traumatic thing that you get hit in a vehicle. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop right there because they'll get real ugly. I'm just gonna stop right
Yeah.
there.
Well, you are right. It is scary because if you watch the video, people are just going about their way on a Saturday afternoon on a highway, and then if you see the video from the dash cam of somebody else's car, who wasn't involved, fortunately,
Mm-hmm.
there's a minivan that just gets taken out in another car because out of the out of the left view of this person, the car, one of the first cars comes out, or both of them out of control, and
Mm-hmm.
they do that. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just there needs to be some serious, harsher punishments for these guys that are
Mhm.
doing this crap.
I agree. Um, yeah, we were talking about the Rasheed Rice. I will add, not not taking a side or anything. I'm letting the law do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his lawyer came out and said that he has been cooperating. I know there was a story on Sunday that they were looking for him and all this. Supposedly, his lawyer said that
Yeah.
was wrong and that he's been cooperating uh, with authorities.
Um,
That's all we know
oh,
so
I
far.
will add on to this is the little statement that was released from his attorney through him. Not he didn't come out and say it, but he had to let his attorney make
Well,
this
yeah.
statement
I mean,
on behalf of Rasheed Rice's thoughts are with everyone impacted by the automobile accident on Saturday. Interesting. You didn't think about that when you and your boys got out and just walked away.
well,
Rasheed is cooperating with local authorities and will take necessary steps to address the situation in response to blah 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 bullshit.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
what? Come
well,
on now. Come
if
on.
if he would have wrote it, somebody else would have wrote it for him. Just saying. Just want to
Like,
point that out there. Not saying it's right.
how about you? How about he come out and make this apology, not his attorney? You
Yeah.
come out and making a statement. Like, have some ball. Like, give your balls a tug and come out and freaking talk.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like,
agree. But
you didn't care about these
that's
people.
how it works.
You didn't care about these
Unfortunately.
people when the time it happened, but now, oh, I feel sorry. I'm gonna feel fuck you, dude.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know if it'll go to a season. The rumors I've heard is 4 games or something like that. But I mean, we'll see. I think people, I'm gonna be honest with you, and people have gotten less for more egregious things. And that's just
Yep.
so just saying. Just putting the
Yeah,
president
no.
out there of what's happening.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the details. That's probably the newest detail was that the statement, and then I think things we didn't know when it was happening was that the part about the lease being under his name and things like that. So for the one of the cars was leased by him. I guess it was the Lambo or rent it or whatever
Yeah,
it
it
is.
was like right. It was either because he owned the Corvette. It was the Lambo that was like leased or rented,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
he was supposed to be the only one driving that car. Clearly, he wasn't.
oh yeah, that's why they always ask. but
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. I think we'll keep an eye on that. Um,
Hmm.
like I said, Philly's being taken over by WWE starting probably today or maybe
Hmm.
tomorrow.
They just had up on the thing. My girl Liv Morgan's at the Phillies game with Braun Strowman and what's his face?
I promote it.
I can't remember his name.
They'll probably be at the game tomorrow. They'll send people every day to things around around town.
Yeah. Well,
It's they were in Brooklyn Monday, and that's not too far away, so they're not gonna. Those guys are already here more than likely. Nobody
yeah.
nobody went home because they got to do. They're gonna be doing stuff like community stuff.
Hmm.
That's obviously not gonna be televised. Um, Nothing actually starts until Friday because SmackDown on Friday, I think it's in Philly as well.
SmackDown's
No,
in Philly.
Monday is for sure, because the Raw after. But I think the SmackDown is on Friday as well. But anyways, so as far as shows start, they won't start until Friday. Um, Saturday, Sunday, Mania, and also NXT's having their WrestleMania weekend show is actually Saturday afternoon. So for those that watch NXT, like me, but I probably won't be watching because
You'll be there.
yeah, I probably might be tailgating. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I'll be watching it.
Yeah. So okay, gotcha. There is something. There is stuff going on. I guess there's something at the convention center. Something called like WWE World.
Is it kind of like a Comic Con type deal where they're there and
I
you can meet and
guess.
greet?
Yeah.
I think because I saw they were selling like tickets so you can go get like autographs and stuff with them. Because I saw
Okay,
like
yeah. So they used to call it Access back in the day, and now like they're bringing it back.
yeah,
So I actually worked it.
yeah,
I actually worked it back in 2017 or 18 down in Orlando.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, because I saw Hulk Hogan's going to be there. I think the Undertaker. Those are like the two big
yeah,
money
Undertaker's having
tickets.
a show on Thursday at 8 p.m.
Hmm.
at the Fillmore.
Yep.
That's separate. I think that's like a
But
um.
I got a prediction for WrestleMania. There's two
Okay,
people I wouldn't be surprised they're going to show up for
you read the internet. I know where
Team
you're going with
Team
this.
Rhodes. Team Rhodes. Well, I already assumed one of them. I was thinking one of them when I was watching. There's just the
Ooh,
references. So one is Stone Cold.
okay.
I believe he's going to make a surprise appearance along with John Cena.
Yeah, and I
For
think it
Team
is.
Team Rhodes.
I think it is. I think it might happen. I don't want it to, honestly. I want them to have a normal match. But I think that it might happen because so the two things, even though this is not a wrestling show, but we're gonna do it with
Yeah, we can
remaining.
work it in. It's whatever.
The two things that I think are gonna happen. One of these two things is gonna happen. I think that idea that's been floated around the internet might happen. And the reason why I think it could happen is because there's a stipulation now to the tag team match on Saturday night that if um Rollins and Rhodes win, nobody's going to be allowed. Like the bloodline's not going to be allowed to interfere or anything like that. They're not allowed to ringside for Sunday's main event. If
Mm-hmm.
Roman and The Rock win, it's bloodline rules, which is basically do whatever the hell you want. So
Mm-hmm.
I think if Rock and Roman win Saturday, which I don't know where I'm leaning there. I usually can
I,
tell.
th- I
I usually can read the tea beforehand of where they're leaning because you can kind of tell if you watch wrestling long enough where they're going. But I don't know if they go that way. I kind of want a clean match for Cody for Roman, so I don't want there to be the bloodline rules. But if the bloodline rules is where they go, that's where I could see the appearance. It's WrestleMania. That's what they do. They do these appearances.
they're gonna make it
Stone
flashy.
Cold, Stone Cold, whatever. Uh, the other one that I actually want to happen, which is what everybody's been hinting and people on the internet has been become like detectives to decipher things and all that. The other thing that I think it's going to happen and I want to happen is that the second night, Rock is going to turn on Roman, and that's what's going to cause him to lose the title, which is going to fuel a little rivalry between them. that,
Hmm.
because that's what I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not revealing anything. Supposedly, Rock wanted the match. The match was gonna happen until they got the reaction from everybody being pissed off that The
Hmm.
Rock just walked in and is taking Cody's spot.
Yeah, I'll agree on that one. It was kind of
So
bullshit that all of a sudden The Rock comes in. As much as I
yeah,
love The Rock, I thought it was kind of
so
it was it was a power move.
that's the one I'm rooting for because I just think like it to me it makes sense, and even with the Blood Rooms, I guess it makes sense. Either way, it makes sense
It
because
was,
basically the way you obviously Roman Reigns has been the best champion they've had um since John Cena, but nobody's had like the run he's had. He's been champion for like 4 years now. That hasn't happened. Um, he's on a record pace. Like I think he broke San Martino's record or whatever that was. I think he already beat it or he's close. But they're not the way wrestling works is when you have somebody like him that's been this character that people love to hate and he's popular obviously even booing
hmm
him means he's popular whatever and he's like basically like the face of the company and you don't want at least like wrestling wise you don't want him to look bad. What you do is you do kind of a match where somebody either gets involved so it's not really like he's not he's not looked at as like he lost his steam. It's like somebody interfered or something happened that wouldn't have happened if
hmm
it's like one on one. So there's a way to like play it off. So either scenario actually would work for them not making Roman look like basically Cody Cody winning, but not winning like clean, even though if Cody doesn't do the unclean thing, somebody else does it for him. Like that's where like because they're not turning Cody bad and to the other side.
hmm
They're not.
No.
I don't think right now they're turning Roman to the other side, but they could. Um, because I like this heel rock. Heel rock has been great, especially off of the show on socials. He's been
hmm
great. It's been funny. It's been hilarious. He's cursing left and right, and it's just funny because you've never really heard the Rock curse. I guess it's unless you've seen his movies, but
Well, yeah.
and I don't even know if he curses that much in those. Now that I think about it, but I don't think he was cursing on the Tooth Fairy. But
Definitely was not cursing on the Tooth Fairy.
yeah,
Definitely
but
was not.
anyway, yeah, I'll be there. Fun. I might have a little vlog. I don't know. I'm still debating, but if just look out for the channel. It might be some things that I
Mm.
my client must bring up. I have a client. I'm a manager for this guy, right? He's actually a failed wrestler and I'm his manager and he wants to do all types of things. Like right now he's trying to do this gaming thing. His name is Frankie.
Mhm.
He's a luchador with a mask. He's my client and he might be there actually. And that's where the content's going to come because he pitched an idea that I kind of like and he wants to do like a day in the life of Frankie the luchador thing and he's going to try because he keeps telling me he has connections in the WWE, and like
Yeah.
I'm like, but he keeps telling me he never made it, and then like I don't know. So
hmm
we'll see. He keeps saying he's got me. Maybe some I can meet somebody, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But
Okay.
who knows? But yeah, I mean, random pitch from my client. I should be a better manager. He streams on Twitch randomly. Doesn't have a full schedule yet,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. He's just random on Switch. I know you're talking about. I know. I know
yeah,
Frankie
you've
Luchador.
seen Frankie, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He hangs around with Billy Bob a little bit, so
Yeah, that guy, that crazy guy. We won't even talk about him.
crazy Billy Bob. Yeah, we don't need to bring him up. Might get in some
Yeah,
trouble.
but yeah, tune in to the channels because things might be happening. But yeah, yeah. Until next week, we'll see you then. All right,
Till next week.
peace out.
Peace.